Good day to all. Today our topic is thermodynamic principles in material science. Why we study thermodynamic principles in material science means that every phase diagram concentrated about temperature and composition interactions, so that we should aware about the thermodynamic principles involved in material science. Myself, Dr. B. Suresh Kumar, Department of Mechanical Engineering, K. Ramakrishnan College of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. So, what are all the things? First, going into study the thermodynamic principle, we should aware about compositions, because temperature, composition, axis are playing vital in phase diagram. So, what is composition? How do we convert the compositions with this following terms? What is composition? The reactions between components are responsible for forming a system. System means binary system, ternary system. Likewise, the lot of systems available. In that, we should study about reactions between components. The component may be A, component may be B. Likewise, lot of components, copper, bronze. Likewise, lot of components are available. So that the reactions between components are responsible for forming a system. The system means in thermodynamic plays vital. So that, but how the laws and the principles are applied to the system, which is second question. So the reaction between components are responsible for forming a system, which is common, but the composition conversion of binary system, because there are two systems we studied with our previous videos, which are binary system and ternary system. How can we calculate the composition conversion in a binary system? Means first we can calculate the thing with the weight percentage. The formula of weight percentage, if I consider two components which are A and B, named as A and B, means weight percentage of A from both the compositions, I can identify the formula of atomic percentage of A into atomic weight of A atom, and then divided by atomic percentage of A into atomic weight of A plus atomic percentage of P into atomic weight of B into 100. From this I can identify the weight percentage of component A, and then atomic percentage of A, which is also important, so that I can identify the thing with the weight percentage of A divided by weight percentage of A component whole divided by atomic percentage of A divided by atomic weight of A plus weight percentage of B divided by atomic weight of B into 100. From this we can identify the weight percentage and the atomic weight percentage from this formula. Similar to same, the ternary system also has its own formulas, like the same formula available with the binary system, but we can include the third term, which is C, because ternary system concentrate about three components, so that atomic percentage of A into atomic weight of A divided by the concentration about A particle B and the C component. So the formula we can follow to identify the weight percentage of A and atomic percentage of A with the aid of these formulas. And then, what are all the important terms available with the thermodynamic principles in material science, which is important question. The important terms are internal energy, closed system, first law, enthalpy, heat capacity, second law, entropy, third law, Gibbs energy. Likewise, lot of important terms are available with the thermodynamic principle, so that we should aware before going into study the thermodynamic principles in phase diagram. We should aware the things, what is meant by internal energy, what is meant by closed system, and then Gibbs energy. Likewise, we should aware in that what is meant by internal energy, the first question, and then what is meant by closed system. Internal energy means the sum of the kinetic energy. Here, what is kinetic energy? The energy of motion, which is called as kinetic energy, and potential energy. We should aware about the two energies. One is kinetic energy and another one is potential energy. According to thermodynamics, what is kinetic energy? Energy of motion is always called as kinetic energy. The energy stored is called as potential energy. So that the sum of the kinetic energy and the potential energy of a system is called its internal energy, which is always denoted by capital E. Internal energy is characterized solely by the state of the system. So the system always plays with the internal energy. Okay, then closed system. There are a lot of systems available which are open system and a closed system. In material science, we should aware about what is closed system than open system. So, what is in a closed system? A thermodynamic system that undergoes no interchange of mass, which means material, okay, with its surroundings is called a closed system. A closed system, however, can interchange energy with its surroundings, which is known as closed system. After that, the second thing is first law. First law of thermodynamics. There are three laws available. In that, what is meant by first law? First law always deals with energy can be neither created nor destroyed. So, which is called as law of conservation of energy. The first law means the total energy, okay, of an isolated system remains constant throughout any operations that carried out on it. That is for quantity of energy in one form that disperses from the system and equal quantity of another form or other forms will appear, which is known as first law derived by scientists. For example, if you consider a closed gaseous system to which a quantity of heat energy, which is denoted by capital Q, is added and a quantity of work capital W is extracted. The first law describes the change in internal energy D of the system as follows, which is dE is equal to Q minus W. Here Q is heat energy and W is quantity of work. So dE is equal to Q minus W, which means heat energy minus quantity of work can be defined with the first law of thermodynamics of the system. And then in the vast majority of industrial processes and the material applications, the only work done by are one limited to pressure volume terms. Any energy contributions from electric, magnetic or gravitational fields are neglected except for electrowinning and electro refining processes such as those used in the production of copper, aluminum metals and the alkaline earth materials. I described what is meant by alkaline earth materials from periodic table video. You can refer that. When the neglect of field affects the work done by a system can be measured by summing the changes in volume. So, which can be expressed by dE is equal to Q minus PdV. Already you are aware about what is dE is equal to what is meant by Q. Here dV. Here dV means that dV times each pressure causing a change. The pressure change denoted by dV. So that d is equal to Q minus PdV is the formula for writing the first law of thermodynamics with the material applications. And then with the first law of thermodynamics, another important term is enthalpy. Here what is meant by enthalpy, which is the major question. Thermal energy changes under constant pressure are most conveniently expressed in terms of enthalpy. Enthalpy is always denoted by capital H of a system. Enthalpy also called heat content, which can be defined as capital H is equal to capital E plus PV. Here the capital E is energy and the capital H is the enthalpy of the system. PV means the pressure and the volume change, okay, and then enthalpy, like internal energy, is a function of the state of the system as is the product of pressure into volume, okay. Then next term which can be explained now. After enthalpy we can go for heat capacity. Heat capacity is also available with the first law of thermodynamics in material science, okay. What is meant by heat capacity? The heat capacity can be denoted by capital C of a substance is the amount of heat required to rise its temperature 1 degree, which means heat capacity. That is, however, if the substance is kept at a constant volume, so we can assume the constant volume, the substance is under constant value, which means dV is equal to 0. So if we can express the term heat capacity Q is equal to dE, and if we instead the substance is kept at constant pressure rather than constant volume, As in many metallurgical systems, which can be expressed with the Cp is equal to d into E plus Pv divided by dt of P, and Cp is equal to dH divided by dt of P. Likewise, we can study the system with the constant pressure. So, we can study the heat capacity with the term Q and dE, and we can express the term with the constant pressure also. So, heat capacity also plays vital in first law of thermodynamics. After studying the first law, we can move to second law. Here, what it states, why we need a second law than first law. The first law establishes the relationship between heat absorbed and the work performed by a system. It places no restriction on the sources of the heat or its flow direction. So, the first law is not considered about the flow direction of the source. So, the second law considers the flow direction. This restriction can be overcome by second law of thermodynamics, which was advanced by scientist Thomson and Clausius. So, the second law says that the spontaneous flow of heat always is from the higher temperature body to the lower temperature body. So, which can be studied with the flow direction, the heat flow direction from higher temperature body to lower temperature body, which can be also described with, in other words, all naturally occurring processes tend to take place spontaneously in the direction that will lead to equilibrium. So, the second law of thermodynamics can be expressed with the term as like entropy. So, the first law of thermodynamics plays with the enthalpy, and the second law of thermodynamics plays with the entropy. Here, what is entropy? Entropy represents the energy. Here, what is energy? Per degree of absolute temperature, capital T. So, the entropy represents the energy in a system that is not available for work. So, the energy available in the system, but it not involves with the work. In terms of entropy, the second law says that all natural processes tend to occur only with an increase in entropy. So, all the processes occur only with an increase in entropy. So, incremental entropy is important for work, and the direction of the process always is such as to lead to an increase in entropy. So, the direction also important in a study of entropy for processes taking place in a system in equilibrium with its surroundings. The change in entropy is defined as Ts is equal to delta Q divided by capital T is equal to d capital E plus PdV divided by capital T. From this we can study about the entropy of the system. After that, third law. The first law and the second law is not enough to study the system. So, some scientists are involved to develop the third law. The Gibbs scientist is to place vital for developing the third law. So, a principle advanced by Theodore Richards, Walter Nernst, Max Planck, the scientists are involved to generate the third law of thermodynamics, but it can be states that the entropy of all chemically homogeneous materials can be taken as zero at absolute zero temperature. This principle allows calculation of the absolute values of entropy of pure substances solely from heat capacity. So, the third law of thermodynamics plays with the chemically homogeneous materials, which can be lying between absolute zero temperature. So, the Gibbs energy plays vital in third law of thermodynamics. In first law there is enthalpy, and the second law is involved with the entropy. Third law involves with the Gibbs energy. Here, what is Gibbs energy? In Gibbs energy, both S and V. Here, S is entropy and volume are difficult to control experimentally. An addition term Gibbs energy is involved. Gibbs energy GE plus PV minus TSH is minus TS, which is the abbreviation or mathematical equation available with the Gibbs energy. However, the Gibbs energy is also called as T is equal to TdS minus PdV. Therefore, the dG is equal to VdP minus SdT. Likewise, we can express the Gibbs energy term. Here, the change in Gibbs energy of a system undergoing a process is expressed in terms of two independent variables, so that the Gibbs energy always concentrated about two independent variables, which are pressure and absolute temperature, which are really controlled experimentally if the process is carried out under conditions of constant pressure and constant temperature. The changes in Gibbs energy of a system at equilibrium with its surroundings. Surrounding means if the process is reversible means we can consider the surroundings. The surroundings is 0 for a spontaneous, which means irreversible process. Which the Gibbs energy we can utilize for spontaneous process also. The change in Gibbs energy is less than 0, negative. The Gibbs energy always also lies with the negative also. That is, the Gibbs energy decreases during the process and it reaches a minimum at equilibrium. So, according to third law of thermodynamics, we should aware about Gibbs energy. Okay, Gibbs energy always deals with the pressure and the temperature, and the Gibbs energy decreases during the process and it reaches a minimum at equilibrium. So, in Gibbs energy, we can understand the third law of thermodynamics. So, now you aware about what are all the important terms available with the thermodynamic terms available with the material science. From that, we can easily study the temperature properties in a phase diagram with these important terms available with the thermodynamic concepts. Thank you all.